Today, we're diving into a really fascinating idea. It's a blueprint for taking degraded, totally unproductive land and turning it into a thriving ecosystem, one that actually makes a profit, helps fight poverty, and, get this, pulls a ton of carbon right out of the atmosphere. It's a pretty bold plan, but the details are what make it so compelling.
So let's jump right in. The whole thing really boils down to this one question. Can we build an economic model where healing the planet is actually the most profitable thing you can do? Well, the proposal we're looking at from a company called TforTrees says the answer isn't just yes, it's a resounding yes.
All right, first up, let's get into the core concept. We're talking about a model that's designed to build a financial engine that's literally powered by nature. Now, the big idea here is called an integrated agroforestry ecosystem, but don't let the fancy name fool you. Think of it less like a regular farm or a forest and more like a carefully designed natural machine. It combines fast-growing trees, cash crops, even beehives, so that every single part supports every other part. That synergy right there is the magic. It's what turns a healthy ecosystem directly into economic wealth. So how do they actually pull this off? Well, this isn't just random planting. It's a super sophisticated 12-layer model where everything has a purpose, from the tallest trees all the way down to the microbes in the soil itself.
Let's break down the key building blocks. First, you've got these hybrid paulownia trees that grow incredibly fast. Then, tucked in between them, you have cash crops like cassava that bring in money pretty quickly. You also bring in beehives, which pollinate everything and produce valuable honey. Any waste biomass gets converted into something called biochar. It's like a super charcoal that makes the soil richer and locks carbon away for good. And here's the really cool part. The whole system is tracked with blockchain technology, creating a totally transparent and tamper-proof record of everything.
And here's where the financial strategy gets really clever. Instead of just waiting 10 years for the trees to grow, this model creates multiple staggered income streams. You get cash from the crops every quarter, from honey twice a year, and from things like carbon credits annually. This completely de-risks the whole investment. It makes restoring the land a smart financial move long before you ever harvest the valuable timber. Okay, so you've got this powerful model, but where in the world do you put it? Well, the proposal argues that all signs point to one country as the perfect launchpad, Zambia. Let's dig into why. First off, and this is a big one, the market is already there. Remember those beehives? Well, it turns out Zambia is already the second largest honey exporter in all of Africa. So you're not trying to create a new market from scratch. You're plugging a high-quality product into an industry that's already booming. And when I say booming, I mean it. That market isn't just stable, it's exploding. Zambian honey exports have shot up by an incredible 700% in just the last 5 years. For any investor, that is a massive green flag. It just shows the huge potential right out of the gate. Plus, there's already proof that local communities are on board with this kind of thing. A similar, large-scale project in the country has already successfully brought in 250,000 small-scale farmers. So we know that working with communities at this scale isn't just possible, it's already been done. And maybe the most crucial piece of the puzzle, the government is all in. Zambia just passed a major Green Economy and Climate Change Act. This creates a clear, legal framework for things like carbon markets, which gives investors the confidence and predictability they absolutely need to fund these kinds of projects. The political will is there. Okay, so the model is smart, the location is perfect. So what's it going to take to get this off the ground? Let's talk about the pilot project and how this thing goes from an idea to a reality. So what's the price tag to get this whole thing started? Well, the proposal calls for an initial 5,000 hectare pilot, and the working capital needed is estimated to be right around $5 million US. This slide lays out the current situation perfectly. On one hand, TforTrees has the whole blueprint ready to go. The proven ecosystem model, the methodology for carbon credits, the detailed financial projections, it's all done. What they need now are the resources on the ground in Zambia, access to the land, that pilot funding we just talked about, and of course, strong local partners to make it all happen. And they've laid out a super clear professional path to get there. It's a simple 4-step process. You start with an NDA to share sensitive data, then you have some technical calls and stakeholder meetings, and it all leads to a formal agreement, an MOU, to officially kick off the pilot. So all of this brings us to the final big picture question. If this pilot project in Zambia really takes off and is successful, what does that actually mean? What's the potential impact beyond those first 5,000 hectares?
So really, what you should take away from all this isn't just a plan for one project in Zambia, it's a potential template for a whole new kind of green economy. The ultimate question this project asks is this: could this integrated, multi-revenue, carbon-negative approach be the scalable blueprint we've been looking for to regenerate ecosystems and economies, not just in Africa, but all around the world?